June 30th, D-Day in New Jersey, either balance the budget or face a government shutdown. Take us into the process, governors. Give us an understanding. You were both Senate presidents and governors, of course. What's it like when the issues are complicated and there's no agreement in the equal branches of government? Who blinks first, Governor Codey?
Well, it shouldn't be about who blinks first. It's not a pretty process, that's for sure. But of course, when Don and I were both governor, it was easy to talk to the legislative side of the aisle because we were on the governor's side of the aisle and the legislative side of the aisle because we were both president of the Senate. So it was easy. But I was very lucky to, when we passed our budget, for the first time in a while, get an upgrade on our bond ratings from Wall Street. They said Codey's budget was darn good, and you know, we haven't had that in a long time, and we got to get back to balancing budgets. So when you're a leader, you have to realize you have to compromise, and you have to do whatever you need to do, talking to each other behind closed doors, and certainly not in public.
The budget process is controlled by the revenue picture, I think, generally speaking. So it can really be very difficult, many years where there's, you know, you're trying to figure out how are we going to balance this budget properly, because that's what we have to do every year. So in some years, when we were there, you'd be there all night, you know, working out things back and forth with the governor's office, maybe with the assembly, with your own party. So it varies from year to year. But yes, on the outside you think, oh, this is pretty easy. It's all Democrats or it's all Republicans. It's not so easy. It all relates to what's your revenue picture and what do you have to fund? I mean, what's the pension issue or the education? You really, that's what makes it hard, is the revenue versus expenses.
When you and I were governor, Democrats and Republicans got along.
Yeah, a lot different. It was a lot different then.
Right.
So the art of compromise is key today. But
those
where is
relationships, and you have those relations. We worked well with Don and Joe Malone over in the Assembly, so there was no acrimony, publicly or otherwise. Not blaming any person, but everybody sat down and said, okay, what can we do here? And the other party that wasn't in power would criticize the budget, but didn't go out of their way to criticize the budget, if you know what I mean.
So the fact that you served in the Senate and obviously rose to be Senate President, that made your job, Governor DiFrancesco, do you think a whole lot easier bringing people along to compromise?
Well, as Dick said, yes, but you're also working at it all year long. I worked at it. If I had to go see Hank McNamara in Bergen County and have dinner with him, I did it. You're working at it all year round because there's a point you're going to come to when you're going to say, I need your vote for this. And you've built that relationship up prior to when you're asking that question. And so it makes it hard for that person to say no. So you have to work hard at it year round. When I was in the minority, as Senate Minority Leader, I'd have carried Carmen Recchio's bags if I needed to.
If you could get it.
And I worked well with Recchio, then of course Russo, but you're working hard all year long to develop those relationships, and that's what Governor Codey means.
When he was governor, I was the minority leader, and he was still president of the Senate. I don't know if I ever criticized him.
No. It was easy.
We got along so
easy.
well.
Both sides.
So what was it like for you dealing with Governor McGreevey?
It was not hard. I mean, he was someone who was always on the go, though, I can assure you.
Kept you on the go.
Yeah, but you know, the easy thing was myself, the first 2 years, myself and John Bennett, who was co-president of the Senate, were always in agreement. So he didn't have to worry about satisfying me and John Bennett. We were in agreement what the agenda should be. So I think it made it a lot easier for him. I think at first he was like, well, how's this going to work? And said it worked very, very, very well.
And how was it for you, Governor DiFrancesco, working with Governor Whitman? She gave you an Inauguration Day surprise on taxes, didn't she?
Yes, she did. She wanted to reduce taxes, and of course we did a little bit. You know, in that case, again, and you hate to bring this up as a former legislator, but you know, when someone hasn't served in the legislature and then becomes governor, and we've had, of course, many people like that, the initial period of time that they're there is a wake-up call for them.
A learning curve?
And we have to work with them in order to educate them, you know, maybe that's the wrong word, maybe that's too strong, on just how the Senate and the Assembly operate, and that we are only 40 people, but we're 40 people from different districts who have, you know, our own personal opinions, our own legislative districts, and our constituencies, and so you have to convince the governor that you got to build a relationship with these people. You have to, just like we said before, you have to know what each person's, you know, priorities are. For example, you know, what are the priorities of a particular senator? So it's a learning curve, I think, involved for quite a while. Yeah, the first year.
Governor Codey, Governor DiFrancesco, thank you very much. You've taken us inside the process and helped us to understand a little bit more. Thank you.
Thank you.